Do you want to know what made Coke the #1 beverage company in the world? Was it the quality of Coke's products? Was it because they had an amazing logo or incredible marketing? Truth is, it was neither of those things. It was strategy. In this episode, we will share with you more about strategy and how you can use it to boost your marketing. Is there an imbalance in your brand galaxy? A disconnect between the internal and external message of your brand? Introducing Masters of the Brandiverse, a weekly show where business leaders can find the marketing tools they need to catapult to the next level. Join co-host Nick Coleman and myself, Graham Skaggs, as we give you strategies and concepts to successfully build a powerful brand. Welcome to Masters of the Brandiverse. Be sure to like and subscribe to our channel.
And if you like what you hear, leave us a comment below.
So, what is this whole strategy thing? I'm sure that our audience has heard of the term strategy probably a lot, but for people who might hear the buzzword but not know what it means, how would you describe it to somebody in like really simple terms?
What is your overall objective? Right, so it's not necessarily like your tactics. Your tactics is well, we're going to run a Facebook ad campaign. We're going to focus on SEO. We're going to do billboards. I mean, those are just tactics. But a strategy is like the overall summary of what it is that you're trying to do. So if you're like, our goal is to be in front of the youth, and we just want to be on every single channel where they live. Right, so it's an all-encompassing, it's like just an overall summary of what it is that you want to do. And in your strategy then there's like another layer to your strategy at that point. It's like, well, how do I get all the people that are involved in this project to buy into it and to really perform at a high level, and that each one of them will contribute at a high level too, right? So it's kind of layered. But really, the overall point of a strategy is kind of a summary of what it is you're trying to do.
That's like the tip of the spear, right? But just because it's small or it seems small, it's just an objective, doesn't mean it's easy to do, right? Because becoming the premium like soda company in the world, that sounds really simple in theory, but then to actually do that, the strategy to actually accomplish that is much harder, which is why there's a lot of research involved in it.
Exactly. So their strategy would probably be, we want to get our soda into the hands of every human being, from an older person to a little child. We want to get our soda into their hands. So that's just their strategy. And so, and you're right, and you see how simple that is, but at that point, that's where then all of the tactics then come into play. It then becomes into like, well, then if that's our overall strategy, then what kind of messaging do we need to do? What channels do we need to be at? How do we get in front of them? See, all of those things are more like the how, but their overall strategy was really, we want to get this soda into the hands of everybody.
Right, yeah. I guess another way to think about it would be like, okay, so you just created a new product. Like maybe you've designed Bluetooth headphones, but your target demographic is maybe 18 to 25-year-old students in college. You know that they have some money, but not a lot of money. You know that they buy on perception. How does the brand make you look? Are you cool? Do you have good taste? So a strategy might be creating a Instagram campaign to drive traffic from Instagram or TikTok to a website to then buy your product, right?
Well, that would be more like your tactic.
Yeah.
So it's like you're saying, well, we know that our strategy is to be with the 18 and 25-year-olds. That's who we want to get in front of. That's the strategy. Now from there, then the tactics are, well, where are they? Well, then we're going to go ahead and attack on Instagram. See, now that's your tactic. Yeah. But the overall strategy was before that. We want to get in front of these 18 to 25-year-olds.
Right. Okay.
Does that make sense?
And I guess another part of the strategic then would be like, well, we know that for 18 to 24-year-olds, like there's 3 other brands that they're already buying how do we position ourselves to be different in the market from all these other brands? That would also be strategic, right?
That would be part of it.
Yeah, and that's probably one of the biggest parts of it, right? Because if you're going into a market with other players, you have to figure out how are we going to position ourselves to differentiate ourselves from our competition and be better and beat them.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
You'd be like, no, you're right, because you then would have to create a strategy on how we're going to be different. So what does that strategy look like?
Right, that makes sense. Okay, that's cool. So I guess like now we're talking about strategy, marketing. When we talk about marketing and getting return on investment and cost per acquisition and those types of things, what we're talking about is lead generation. What we're talking about is how much money are you spending to get someone who is a cold lead into a hot purchasing customer, right? Like someone who's really into your brand. So I guess a question I would have, how would you explain lead generation to our audience?
Well, in a really simple way, it's how you're introducing your brand to somebody that's totally cold, and getting them to give either your information in order for you to nurture them. So, but if we kind of take a step back, I mean, it really also depends on your business. I mean, if you are a gift basket company, you're not going to need leads. I mean, because someone most likely is going to be buying a basket. Maybe someone buys a basket for a funeral, right? Well, they're not going to sit and fill out forms, and you're going to have to nurture them. No, they need that basket immediately. So they're going to maybe look at a couple gift basket companies, and they're going to make a purchase instantly.
Right.
So that's a little different. But if you're like a company that actually has to nurture people, like say if I sell cars, well, I'm going to have to nurture somebody. If I sell a house, I have to nurture somebody in order to make a purchase like that. So in essence, it really boils down to what is your buying cycle. Like how long does it take for someone for that first point of contact to buy? It's normally those type of businesses, if it's like a long sales cycle, then they will use lead generation.
Yeah, and so like a long sales cycle would be selling like a high-end car where you have to build up brand awareness. People have to love your brand. They have to then come into your store. They have to talk to one of your sales reps. It's just a longer process versus I want to buy a pair of tennis shoes right now online, or I need a gift basket. I guess the term would be they have an immediate need versus a want. And the way you're going to market to immediate needs is going to be very different from a want or a desire.
That's right.
Because you have to kind of kindle the flame. Like if you're trying to sell something because it brings you style or class, you have to make someone feel like it's sophisticated, has taste, and it can take more effort.
You're right.
The marketing fronts to do that.
And the other one would, so if just for our audience, say like the difference, say if we were to go with the same analogy of like shoes, or use that same example, I mean, well, with shoes, if someone has an immediate need, you're going to use discounts. You're going to say, well, get 10% off, get 15% off. There's an immediate need. Where someone is more about a want, then it's all about information. They need content. They need to know about your product. They need to understand what makes it different. There's a lot more information gathering that they have to do in order to make that purchase.
Thanks for watching Masters of the Brandiverse. If you enjoyed this episode, hit the like button below and subscribe to our YouTube channel. In this last episode, we talked about strategy and how you can use it to create powerful marketing. In the next episode, learn more about the first stage of lead generation, awareness.